What's going on, everybody? It's your old buddy Big Rob. This is another episode of Big Rob's House of Entertainment and no Chinese food. It is a beautiful, sunny Sunday afternoon. The birds are birding, the bugs are bugging, the breeze is blowing. It is wonderful out here today. I am so glad that you joined me. And to start things off, I would like to answer a question that I've been asked a couple of times. Not many, but a couple. The question is this: Big Rob, how is it that you are just so darn entertaining and so doggone handsome? And to respond to that, to answer that question, I'd like to refer you to this week's sponsor, Lens Crafters. Get your eyes fixed in about an hour. I'm kidding. Lens Crafters ain't got nothing to do with this show. They don't know who I am. They don't care who I am. But I will say that if anybody out there knows anybody from Lens Crafters or 1-800-CONTACTS or that eyeglasses company that's got the owl as the spokesperson, totally put them in touch with me. Give them my phone number or give them my email address, whatever. Because, like, couldn't you just see, like, a big boy with my big mug on there and be like, hey, if you think this dude looks good, come see us, Lens Crafters. You know, just a thought. Anyway, so while I was doing research for this week's movie review, and I know it will shock every single teacher that I have ever had that I do research, but I do now. Mostly Wikipedia and the Internet Movie Database, but it's still research-ish. And I take notes. Again, shocking to every teacher I have ever had. Netflix has a show that actually dropped a couple of months ago in March, and I don't know how I missed it, but I did, and I apologize. Wish I'd have seen it back then. It is an animated show. It is cartoon, but it is absolutely not family friendly. It is not for kids. The show is called Agent Elvis, and it is about Elvis Presley as a vigilante / secret agent. And it's about 10 episodes. The first 3 or 4 episodes, I laughed hysterically through like almost the entire episodes. And the last episode or two, I think I laughed almost the entire time. The middle episodes, there were some funny parts, but I kind of felt, I don't know if it was because I binged it all at one time and I kind of got a little burnout on that humor, or if they really weren't as funny as the first episodes than the last couple of episodes. So if anybody decides to watch this, and if you like just ridiculous, over-the-top action, violence, and humor, like if you like Archer, you'll probably enjoy this, or if you like Elvis. It's got Matthew McConaughey as the voice of Elvis, which, all right. I mean, it's good. But if you watch this like in chunks, like a couple episodes here, a couple episodes there, let me know in the comments if those middle episodes were actually funny, or if I was really right that they're kind of lesser than the first ones and the last ones. I did enjoy it. If they make a second season, I will probably watch it. 100% watch it. But it was weird and wild. But yeah, definitely not made for kids or family or my mom or... Yeah, no. No, not. It's on Netflix, though. So, this week's movie review is one that I've put off for a while, not on purpose. Definitely not on purpose, because it's one of my personal favorites. It is a classic movie. It's an amazing movie. It came out in May of 1977. It's got a handsome young lead actor with a super sweet, super fast vehicle. It's got a stunningly gorgeous woman in a white dress that needs rescuing. It's got a scruffy looking smuggler and his faithful furry companion in a iconic badass vehicle. Amazing music. Even if I don't know if anybody hasn't seen this movie, but if you haven't seen this movie, you know the music. And it's got an over-the-top villain that he's just, again, an icon. And the movie I'm talking about is, of course, Smokey and the Bandit. I know y'all thought I was going somewhere else, and I didn't. Smokey and the Bandit. Yeah. So, here's the cast. Okay, Bandit, played by the incomparable Burt Reynolds. Stroker Ace, Gator, Boogie Nights, Striptease, Deliverance. He's been in a ton of movies. He's one of those top 5 mustaches in Hollywood. I mean, he's right up there with Tom Selleck. I mean, he's nowhere near Sam Elliott, but, you know, nobody is. Snowman, Cletus Snow, was played by the amazing Jerry Reed, a freaking music legend. He, of course, did the music for this movie, Eastbound and Down, Bandit, so many other songs. Jerry Reed is just, he's like one of the kings of like the truckers anthem of country music kind of stuff. And he's a great comic actor too. And of course his faithful furry companion was Fred the Basset Hound. I don't know what the Fred's real name was. I didn't see that actually, and so I apologize, Fred. Carrie, or as she's called through most of the movie, Frog, was played by Sally Field, the second hottest Aunt May. She's in Forrest Gump. She's in Still Magnolias, The Flying Nun. She's a very prolific actor. Sheriff Buford T. Justice, the main villain, the iconic villain, was played by the incredible Jackie Gleason, one of the most famous funny men ever. He was Ralph Cramden in The Honeymooners, which I was shocked to see that was only 39 episodes for a show that is just so ingrained in American culture. The Honeymooners, less than 40 episodes, and that just like boggled my mind, but there it is. He stand-up comic. He also was an instrumental recording artist. He had an orchestra. Wow. Most of the comedy in this movie came from Jackie Gleason's over-the-top villain, scumbag, racist, butthole, Buford T. Justice. Big Enos, played by Pat McCormick. He was in Scrooge, History of the World Part 1, Smokey the Bandit 2, Smokey the Bandit 3. He mostly known for stand-up and for being a comedy writer. Never really like the main star, but he's just been in the world of comedy. Little Enos was played by Paul Williams. Paul Williams done a lot of acting, a lot of voiceover work. He was in Cats. He did Cats and Planet voices. He did The Tick. He did Pirates of Dark Water. He was the Penguin, the voice of the Penguin in the Batman the Animated Series TV show. Which if you like cartoons and Batman, you know that was an amazing show that had some amazing character actor work. Paul Williams, Little Enos, was the Penguin. And just to show you, more than his acting, Paul Williams was known for his songwriting. He wrote tons and tons of music for some really big names. And just to show that I can tie everything that I do to Star Wars, they actually collaborated. Paul Williams and John Williams collaborated on a handful of songs. Nice to Be Around for the Cinderella soundtrack, not the Disney one, but another. And they also did music for Frank Sinatra. So that's how Smokey and the Bandit, another way that it's related to Star Wars. Because I'm a Star Wars nerd. Just find that fascinating. You may not. That's okay. Junior Justice was played by a gentleman named Mike Henry. He was in Soylent Green. And he played in 3 Tarzan movies. He is one big dude. And he played the part of Tarzan real well. He's a big sucker. So, that's the main characters. Several more side characters and everything. Here's the story. It's a pretty basic premise. Big Enos and Little Enos make a bet with the Bandit that he can't go from Atlanta, Georgia to Texarkana, Texas, get 400 cases of Coors beer, and come back within 28 hours. During the course of the movie, find out they've made this bet several times. Nobody's ever made it. It was illegal for the movie to bring Coors Light east of the Mississippi, so it was smuggling, it was bootlegging alcohol. Bandit and Snowman go over there to Texas. They pick up the beer with no problem, and it's on the way back when they meet up with Carrie, Sally Field, and they become on the run from Sheriff Justice and his son Junior Justice, and that's where the movie takes place. There's a lot of awesome car chases, there's a lot of awesome wrecks, there's a lot of funny stuff. Some of the just amazing things of this, from what I understand, was a lot of Jackie Gleason improving, because he's Jackie Gleason. One of the most baller scenes in the movie to me, and it's just stands out every time, is Bandit and Frog stop at this restaurant. He's gonna let Frog get on a bus and go to Jersey, but he stops in to get him a hamburger, and while he's sitting there, Sheriff Justice comes in and asks for a Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper, and Bandit talks to him about, like, oh, who are you chasing? Oh, I'm chasing down this some bitch. And just baller move when the sheriff goes to pay for his meal. He's like, no, let me pay for it. You're a law enforcement man. Like, that is just awesome. So Vin Diesel should really take note for Fast and Furious 37 or whatever they're up to. This is high speed. This is Fast and Furious. But anyway, so hilarity ensues. It's really funny. There's a lot of action. And that's the movie. It's a pretty simple storyline, but it was done so well. So a couple of just interesting things that I found out. So in 1977, Coors wasn't actually illegal to bring past the Mississippi, but it was only available in 11 Midwestern and Western states because of where they bottled it. And Coors did not pasteurize their beer, so they were afraid that getting it too far away from the bottling facility, it would go bad. And they didn't want to pasteurize it because it would ruin the taste of their beer. Of course, nowadays, and even in 1977, it was getting to the point where refrigerated trucks and stuff were more prevalent and worked a lot better, so you could transport the beer a lot further. But for a long time, Coors beer you could not get on the East Coast, and it became like a very rare thing. And like even U.S. presidents like had it flown from the Midwest to D.C. just so they could have this beer, which I'm not a drinker. Somebody else got to let me know about Coors. I don't. I know Johnny drinks Coors Banquet and Cobra Kai, but I don't know. I know it's a silver bullet. I don't drink. I don't like it, but I'm sure it's special. Just interesting things. The Atlanta to Texarkana. The movie says it's 900 miles each way, so 1,800 miles in 28 hours means that you've got to do an average of 65 miles an hour, and that's with no stops, no fuel rests, no sleep, no eating, no taking a break to pee. You got to be at least 65 miles an hour the entire way, which is why it was such a hard deal. Now, Google says it's 622 miles from Atlanta to Texarkana, an average of about 45 miles an hour to do it in 28 hours. So it's a little bit easier to do that way. But still, I mean, it's a pretty big run. But it's certainly not impossible to do. This movie is iconic. Everybody knows the black Trans Am. Everybody knows the big rig with the stagecoach on the side. In The Walking Dead season 7, episode 10, if you want to take a look, at the very beginning, Daryl and one of the other guys, I don't remember, they actually hide behind the rig during the opening scenes, hiding from some people. And I was like really cool whenever I first saw that, before I quit watching The Walking Dead, before it jumped many sharks. Yeah. So I actually own the Pursuit Pack, which has Smokey and the Bandit 1, 2, and 3. Smokey and the Bandit 2 was also pretty good. It's another bet with the Enuses. Smokey and the Bandit 3, Burt Reynolds wasn't actually in it. He had a cameo, but it was actually more about Sheriff Buford Justice and Snowman. It was nowhere near as good as the first two. It was fun. It was nowhere near as good as the first two. 1 and 2 are available on Netflix right now. 3 I did not see available to stream right now. But you can still pick up the DVDs fairly readily. Of course, eBay and Amazon, but even Walmart carries the DVDs. So you can, if you need to watch Smokey and the Bandit, and you do need to watch Smokey and the Bandit, it's not hard to watch. In the 90s, 1994 actually, there were 4 made-for-TV movies about Bandit, starring some young guy. He did a lot of voiceover work and a lot of acting work too. I didn't write his name down because it doesn't matter, because the movies were awful. Just to let you know, there were Bandit Goes Country, Bandit, Beauty and the Bandit, and Bandit Silver Angel. Bandit Goes Country had Elizabeth Berkley of Saved by the Bell and Showgirls fame. Beauty and the Bandit had the stunningly gorgeous Kathy Ireland, and Bandit Silver Angel had Tracy Lords, the Tracy Lords. I can remember watching, I want to say, one of these. I don't think that I watched them all, probably, because what I remember of the one that I did watch was terrible. For one thing, the Trans Am was gone, and he drove a Dodge Stealth. Don't get me wrong, I am a huge Mopar fan. I drive a Ram. I love Dodges. I love the Dodge Stealth. I thought it was a really cool car, but it ain't a black Trans Am. So that kind of bothered me. I apologize. I got a gnat in my throat. South Georgia. The other thing that bothered me is Homeboy was always taking his hat off. And in Smokey and the Bandit 1, Bandit tells Frog there's only one thing that Bandit takes his hat off for. Wash that gnat on down. Protein. So anyway, so it wasn't great. The one that I seen, I definitely didn't watch the others. But if you want to, Walmart again has a Bandit box set that's got all 7 movies for like, I don't know, 10 or 15 bucks. It's not hard to watch these movies if you want to see them all. I highly recommend the first 2. I kind of recommend the third one, and the last 4, if you got 8 hours to kill, yeah, go for it. I mean, they're car chases, and so, that ain't all bad. But anyway, I definitely enjoyed it. I thought it was a great movie. I laughed the entire way through, just like I have every time I have seen this movie, which has been many times. If you have a different opinion, or if you want to share an opinion, or if you want to share a story about Smokey and the Bandit, definitely hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you thought. And I guess that's going to be it for the show this week. Before I get out of here, I do want to thank the Zone Collectables and Spotlight Media GA and the Clady Clan. These are some wonderful people. If you are in Tifton, Georgia, head on over to 305 Main Street. Check out their store, The Zone. If you are on Facebook, The Zone Collectables and Spotlight Media GA. If you want to email them, it's thezonecollectables@gmail.com. If you have a Roku TV or a Fire TV, check out their channel, Spotlight Media GA. They are always adding some new content to that channel. And if you're searching for it, it's real easy. Spotlight Media GA. Their logo is a UFO beaming a cow up. Primo logo work. It's awesome. So check them out. Give them some love. And while you're online or perusing the interwebs, make sure you go check out my buddies Hassel and Monster over at the Nerdy Man Room Show and Hassel's Review. You can find them on YouTube at the Nerdy Man Room Show. They are also all over social media. I will put their social media information up on the screen here somewhere. But they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on Twitter. They're everywhere, and they're very active on there. They do like to chat with their fans. Right now, they are in a drive to hit subscribers. They are 3 or 4 subscribers away from their goal of 250 subscribers. When they hit 250, they are doing a giveaway. It's a ratty old Captain Kirk mask. No, I'm kidding. It's a Michael Myers mask from Halloween 4, I think. Hassel can tell me if I'm wrong. And it is signed by the guy that played Michael Myers, and also I think he played Jason in one of the Jason movies, or maybe a couple of Jason movies. Not a horror guy. Check Hassel out at Hassel's Reviews and the Nerdy Man Room Show. He will tell you much more about it. I know he did a short the other week that gave some real good details and showed some real close-ups of the mask. If you are into horror, this is a really cool piece. It's not some cheap toy from Spirit Halloween or something. This is a legit real deal mask. So it's going to go to one of their lucky fans as soon as they hit their 250. So check them out. While you're checking them out, make sure to like my show. Like the show, subscribe to the show, hit the bell to be notified whenever I drop new shows. I do try to drop a new show every week. I think I've been really good about dropping at least one a week. I do my best. If there's anything that you'd like to see on the show, hit me up, and I may try and incorporate it. If you don't like something about the show, hit me up. I may try and incorporate that as well. But I appreciate it. That's it for this week. I will see y'all next week, and in the meantime, may the force be with you.